Hey guys, Filmmaking Simple here with another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you a masking tutorial because on my levitation effect, a few people were having trouble with the mask, so I decided to make a masking tutorial. Now for a basic example, I'm just coming over here to the generators, so if you want to follow along you can do so. And I'm going to custom. I'm going to just zoom that in. And I'm gonna keep that as black. Then I'm just gonna drag another custom on top and change the color to green. So, for example, let's say the custom, black custom, is your clean plate, and your green custom is what you want to mask. Now, you'll put that clip on top of the other one. Now, let's say I want to draw a mask and animate it. And I want my mask to be very specific. You'll drag the draw mask onto the clip or layer that you want to mask. Then, let's say I want to make a, I don't know, I'll just make a weird shape. Let's say I'll make like, let's say that is the shape of something we're masking out. Now, if you go to video in the inspector section, which you can access by clicking right here, you can drop down the arrow next to the draw mask. And you can make the shape type linear, B-spline, or Razor, which I normally use this one, but sometimes if you want it to be rounded, you'd use B-spline. Now you can adjust the fill opacity, you can invert the mask, you can change the view from original, which means it'll be, let's say, affecting something in that area. You can feather the mask, in or out, and there can be a mask fall off, which is the fall off of the feather. And then there are transforms, and you can control all the different points. Now, normally you don't have to mess with any of the transforms or point controls, but you can. Now I'm going to show you how to animate it. To animate a mask or make it change shape as you progress, you click on this little arrow to where it says keyframes and you hit add. Now, let's say I want to go forward a few frames, 10 frames, and to go forward a frame, you hit the page right. To go back a frame, you hit page left on your keyboard. And then let's say I want this, by the time it does that, to move down, and I want that to do that. So, as it progresses, it'll move. And let's say I want to go from there and go forward a few frames. I want this to be like that. That to be there. And if you want to move an entire area like so, like a line, what you can do is you can just select the line and just move that instead of moving the points. But you can move 2 points at once or multiple points by selecting shift and holding down on them. Like that. Then you can just move them. Like so. So I'm just going to move this like this. So as you progress, the mask is moving how I need it, and then you can go forward a few more frames and just keep moving it. And you can do this with masks. Let's say I'll make more of a real world shooting example. Let's say you want to put something into a scene or cut something out of a scene and it's moving. You could use the mask and a clean plate to do that. And you can put them in or out of a scene. You can think of masking almost like green screening, but without needing a green screen, you just kind of cut out what you need. So this is our little animation that we made with the mask. and let's say we invert the mask, it would look like this. But we'll just keep it like that for now. Now, another example, there's multiple different masks. There's also a graduated mask, which is kind of just like makes part of it, like gradually transitions it to the other clip below it, kind of like so, and you can change it. You can adjust the amount. It kind of almost transitions parts in, and you can move these around and stuff, and that's really all you can do with that. There is the image mask, which you can add a mask source by importing one, and it'll make the mask that shape, which is a little bit confusing, but if you really want to get into it, I would experiment with that. Then there's a shape mask, which it makes defaults kind of making a kind of like a rectangle, but it has curved edges, and you can increase the radius, like the rounded corners, and make them more round or less round. You can adjust the fill opacity, and you can make that convert to points, which means we'll remove any animation relying on the cultural radius parameters. And then there are the transforms, and you can feather the mask, and then there's feather fallout, and you can make it composite or original, and you can also invert the mask. And you can make it to not show the points on a mask. There's this little button right here for all of them. You click on it, it'll show the points. Click on it again, it won't show the points. There's also a vignette mask, which is kind of like, let's say you want to fade it into another clip or make it a little bit darker somewhere else, like this. You could do that, which is pretty cool. And you can't do much with this because it's really specifically for one thing. And those are all the different types of masks. Personally, whenever I need something done with the mask, I always use the draw mask because I'm used to the draw mask feature like in After Effects, which is pretty much the same thing, but in After Effects there's a lot more flexibility. But the fact that Final Cut has gotten a mask is very useful. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Remember to animate any and all masks. You can click this little arrow right here and add a keyframe. Go forward a few frames, move your mask, and it should move.